From Upper Michigan Source with your Sports on Demand for Monday, July 9th, I'm Alex Klein. The Negaunee Miners have been blessed to have just two varsity football coaches since 1968, Dick Koski and Paul Jacobson. The Miners are celebrating their 125th year of football this fall. TV6's Mike Ludlam tells us about a reunion that focused on how Koski built the program.
Dick Koski was an all-state athlete in Wakefield in both football and basketball. He started his coaching career in Ontonagon and Escanaba and became head coach at Negaunee in 1968.
Negaunee was a run-of-the-mill football program till he got here, and ever since he got here, Negaunee's been a powerhouse. You know, we won 208 games in 32 years. So we got a band of brothers here. It's wonderful to get together, and doggone it, coach deserves to have a reunion.
Two of his best years were in 1986 and 87, qualifying for a pair of state semifinal games. In 1991, the Miners reached the Class Double-C final, but lost 14-8 to Battle Creek Penfield at the Pontiac Silverdome. Sometimes reflecting on 32 years as a football coach can be a blur.
Well, when you're going through the whole process, you don't give that much thought, you know, and then when it's all over and done with, then you can go back and reflect on it. And we have just a tremendous group of young men here. So many of them came back to me, and it's just great to see, and you know, I appreciate it very much.
Koski stayed as an assistant when his former offensive lineman Paul Jacobson took over as coach. The Miners won a Division VI state title in 2002, 28-20 over Hopkins. Jacobson knows Koski's wisdom played a big role that season.
To be able to play for a man like Dick, be demanding yourself, but just lessons of life. And, you know, being able to come back then and coach with him for a couple of years, you see a different side of him, and just the mentor side. It's a tremendous amount of respect for this man.
The 77-year-old Koski is battling cancer in his right thigh. He's remembered a word from his coaching days that he is using now to focus on the challenge.
I'm facing adversity, so what am I going to do now? I'm going to fight it, and I've been fighting it, and I'll continue to fight it. And the doctors were quite impressed when I was there last, and they feel like we got a handle on it.
That's the voice of a determined football coach. Koski also led the Miners track team for 20 years. He was inducted into the UP Sports Hall of Fame in 1999. Mike Ludlam, TV6 Sports, Negaunee.
And the Bay College North head women's basketball coach Ray Drake has resigned. Drake will be returning to Michigan Tech as an assistant for the men's basketball team. Ray Drake led the Norse to a winning record in its first ever season at 14-11 in 2017-2018. Prior to Bay College, Drake spent 6 seasons with the Huskies men's and women's basketball programs. And former Lake Superior State assistant hockey coach is on the move as well. Rich Mitro has accepted the head coaching job at Shattuck St. Mary's Prep School in Faribault, Minnesota. The SSM program is one of the top hockey prep schools in the country, with NHL notables like Sidney Crosby, Jonathan Taves, and Zach Parise. Mitro is a Sault Ste. Marie native and leaves LSSU after a combined 8 seasons on the Laker hockey coaching staff. And in Major Little League All-Star action, Gladstone and Munising facing off in Escanaba. Gladstone off to a good start as pitcher Nick Matthews gets the strikeout. He fanned 5 of the 6 batters he faced tonight. And to the second inning, Gladstone gets the bats going. Luke Brackett with the base hit, and he'd eventually score on a wild pitch after a high five to his coach. One of the guys with a big game for Gladstone, Austin Solis. He steals second base and turns on the Jets for his 3rd run of the game. He had a double and a triple, and Gladstone rolls into the district finals 17-0. And more 11 and 12 major baseball scores. Escanaba clobbers Tri-County 23-0. Norway falls to Iron Mountain North 4-3. Pinocchio Range gets the best of Negaunee 16-3, and Ishpeming gets past Berga County 7-6.